welcome back to my channel. I am the Mass Trans, and you, yes you, you are watching me, baby. Now, before we get today's video started, I just want to give a quick what's up to my peeps and a diabolical middle finger to the creeps. You know who you are. Good morning again. It is Tuesday morning. I slept in a little later than I normally do, so I hope that will give me energy throughout the day. But woke up and started reading my news feed, right? And I came across this story about a new Netflix stand-up special from Dave Chappelle. And let me tell you something. Before I even read the story, my first thought, the very first thought I had was, what did he say about LGBTQIAP+? Because this man seems to have an obsession. Okay, an obsession with all things LGBTQIAP+. Every single special that I've seen, at least the ones, the most recent ones, there's always some sort of vitriol, in my opinion, that's aimed at the LGBTQIAP+ community. So I don't even watch Dave Chappelle. I don't watch him. On occasion, I might catch a clip or an excerpt or a blurb, because I'm not going to sit here and say that, like, I don't find some of the things that he says funny, right? But I think that there's a very, I was going to say a thin line, but it's a very thick line between funny and ignorant. And some of the things that he says, in my opinion, really cross the line from being funny to being ignorant. Now, again, I didn't watch the special, so I really don't have complete context. But I'll tell you, in the article that I read this morning, they were just talking about his attack on the LGBT. Let me not say attack, right? I'm trying to choose my words carefully, right? Because I don't want to choose all of these sort of trigger words. But his section, his whatever. So during this stand-up special, he said something like, you know, I'm not saying trans women aren't women, but, you know, in order to come through this world, all of us have to come through some legs. Well, not necessarily true, because some people were born courtesy of C-section. So just so you know, not everyone came through the vaginal cavity. But not to negate his point that, you know, women or the female biology is not responsible for all of us, but a child can be born without a male being present or participating in said conception. So I don't get the point of that. Like, for me, that's stating the obvious. That's like telling me oranges are orange. We know that. What does that have to do? How does that correlate with trans women, you know, being women, right? First of all, trans women, okay? There is an asterisk, there is a caveat. It's trans women. See, as a trans woman, I know. I know exactly how my existence came to be, both as a human being and as a trans woman. So I mean, like, this is like birds and bees talk. Like, who doesn't know this? So, and I don't understand why, again, they're trying to create this sort of strain between trans women and cisgender women, as if trans women are trying to, oh, at least I'm not, trounce the rights or trounce the importance or trounce the validity of cisgender women. I don't know where that's coming from. But anyway, he went on to say that, you know, trans vaginas, you know, they may look like it, but they don't taste like it, because, you know, it's like beyond vagina, so to speak. So a play on like beyond beef, whatever. And my question too is always, why is the focus always on trans women? Why is none of this energy put towards trans men? Not saying that I want trans men thrown under the bus or trans men to be disparaged in any way, but I'm just curious why so much energy, time, and effort is put into diminishing trans women. Like, why are trans women the target? As a trans woman who minds her own business, pays her own bills, and, you know, lives a life that is unproblematic, in my personal opinion, I really don't understand it. But listen, the way Dave Chain smokes, he ain't got but a week left anyway, okay, before. Let me stop. But it's just ridiculous to me. Like, every single special he has, he goes on this diatribe about trans women. Last time, we were the last on the bus. LGBTQIAP+, what have you. But here's the fact, baby. I don't ride in the back of the bus because I own the bus. Okay? I don't ride in the back. I don't ride in the back. And so for him, so that was one thing. And then of course on this one, there's the whole, Beyond Beef thing that he said. And then also saying that he's tired of our community, quote unquote, coming for his community. And I guess that was in reference to the baby and Kevin Hart. So let me say this about how I feel about Kevin Hart and the baby. Sorry, my back is itching. So when it comes to the Kevin Hart said some very ignorant things, right? I believe it was something about, if his son wanted to play with dolls or if his son was gay, he would beat him with a dollhouse or something. I don't remember exactly what he said. But the problem is, if you look at there was a video again about maybe 3 or 4 months ago, 6 months ago, I don't know, it was very early on this year, where there was a young boy, I want to say it was down in Atlanta, who was being punched in the chest, had his head shaved, with the F word carved in the side of his head, or I'm gay, I believe maybe it was, I can't remember. It was made to hold up a sign. Just humiliated to the nth degree. The problem is the things that Kevin Hart says are things that happen to gay young men and children in real life. And it's not a laughing matter because you don't understand the implications of why people get upset about that. Because for you, never having gone through that, never having experienced that, it's not that big of a deal. People are just getting upset about a whole lot of nothing. So I want to know, because Dave Chappelle always tells people not to be upset. How should we be upset? How should we feel? How should we respond? Should we say nothing? Should we laugh? Should we hee? I mean, Missy Elliott, hee ha, hee ha. What should we do? Like, what is the proper response towards homophobia or transphobia? Please let me know. I'll wait. I have time. What should we do? When the baby hops on Rolling Loud and says the ignorance that he said, the ignorant, just ignorant, unsolicited, unprovoked, you need to be asking him what's up with bruh, what's going on? Like, where's this coming from? I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't even turn on my ring light. Let me turn this on really quick. See if I get some better lighting here. Okay. There it is. So, I just don't, I'm sorry, it still didn't come on. I hope I don't pull this camera down in the process. Amazon, this is going back. Amazon, y'all see this light y'all sent me? It's coming back. Anyway, the light doesn't want to work, so we're not going to worry about that. So, back to my point. What should we do in those instances where you have people like the baby saying the things that they say? Because what people like Dave Chappelle are great at doing are telling you how you shouldn't feel and what you shouldn't do, but not telling you what you should do. Okay, what should we do? Because everyone wants to sort of pacify the baby, Now, Kevin Hart, I feel a different way about, because when Kevin's tweets came out, for one, they were long ago. The world hadn't evolved to the point that it has evolved today. When Kevin Hart's tweets came out, he went on an apology tour. And at some point, you got to give a little grace and say, okay, cool, I get it. You made a mistake. He learned from it. And he comes from an environment where that is the thought process, that is the mentality, that is the culture of the environment that he grew up in, and I get that. And it doesn't mean that he gets a pass for it. But when you're at the point that you're apologizing and trying to take accountability and responsibility for it and making changes, trying to move forward, okay, I'm good, we good. I don't need you to kiss my ass in perpetuity for a mistake that you made, because I probably have or probably will make some mistakes. And when I say I'm sorry, I'm done with it. You ever been in an argument with your significant other where, let's say, you broke their remote control to their game? And I mean, he is upset, baby. He is pacing back and forth, honey. He on the balcony smoking a blunt because his nerves is bad because you didn't tow up his PlayStation 5. What is it, 5? 4? I don't know what it is right now. You didn't tow it up and he had to hit the blunt. He drinking a beer because his nerves is wrecked. How could you? How dare you? And you didn't even see it sitting there. And you're like, baby, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I'll get you a new one. No, but you saw it sitting there. Baby, I'm sorry. I didn't see it sitting there. You saw it. You just did that on purpose. You didn't even care. You could have picked it up and moved it. Okay, now. I said I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm done with it, because now I'm starting to get pissed off, right? Because I know it wasn't intentional. I know I didn't do it to offend you. I know I didn't do it to hurt you. I'm saying I'm sorry. And out of everything that I'm saying to you, you refuse in the moment to hear me apologizing and atoning for whatever I have done to wrong you. So you know what? Now we both upset. Now you got a problem with me, I got a problem with you. And that's how that works. So I can understand from that perspective what Dave Chappelle is saying in reference to Kevin Hart, because Kevin Hart, again, he did atone for it. So I'm good with him. The baby, on the other hand, he got ignorant and more ignorant. He said some ignorant-ish, turned back around, made a video and said some more ignorant-ish, turned back around, made an apology, turned back around, deleted the apology. So I'm not sure where to go with the baby. I'm not sure where to go. And what makes me upset when these men defend someone like the baby, no one ever steps up. For the most part, all the people who defend him never say that what he said was wrong. Never say that what he said was wrong. And if we can't at least agree on what he said was ignorant, then we can't have a conversation. Because as a black woman, a black trans woman, honey, because I don't want to make nobody upset. As a black trans woman who lives in her truth, I know that there is a lot of education that needs to be made, a lot of strides that need to be made in the black community, right? Do you know, as a black trans woman, let me tell you this. If I'm driving on the highway and I look off to the shoulder and I see 2 black men, 3 black men, car is, broken down, tires off, they're trying to figure out what to do. When I see black people there, I want to reach out and help them. When I see anyone, honestly, it's not even a black thing, it's a human thing. But what I'm saying is, if I see 3 black men over there, I would want to pull over. Hey, what's up? Y'all need some help? Here's a jack. You guys need to ride to the gas station. You guys need to get some gas. What can I do to help? But because there's so much vitriol towards trans women, I can't do that without being concerned about my personal safety. I can't do it. And that's a sad state of affairs, because it's almost like the black community says, because I'm trans, zero value. Zero value. Zero. And not only zero value, but zero respect. We don't have to respect you. We don't have to value you. We don't have to appreciate you. We don't have to see you. In fact, we prefer you be invisible. Why are you out here letting people see this? You are an embarrassment to all things black. Now, meanwhile, Lil Boosie is over there shucking and jiving and, acting a fool. What's his name? Future is over there talking about popping mollies. And I'm over here working, being educated, being clean and sober, reading and being enlightened. I'm over here doing all the things that most people would identify as being a responsible person. But because I'm trans, suddenly none of that matters. That negates everything. That negates everything. You have no value. But these thugs, ne'er-do-wells, miscreants, what have you, who go out in the streets, make songs about whatever, do whatever, say whatever, treat women any type of way, y'all have no problem with that. So when Dave Chappelle and all of these comedians start coming down on the trans community, LGBTQIAP plus community as a whole, yeah, I take offense to it. And a lot of it I don't take offense to because I'm offended, right? Because whatever Dave Chappelle say ain't gonna make me have a good or a bad day. That's just the fact. That's just the fact. Dave Chappelle, his special, I just won't watch it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to support something that I don't believe in. I'm not going to support anything that I feel doesn't value my existence. I don't do it. And even if I saw it or heard it, it's not going to change the way that I see myself, the way I perceive myself. I walk in the door a bad bia. I'm walking out this door a bad bia. Okay? And that's just what it's going to be. That's just what it's going to be. So I'm not really affected. The problem is I wasn't always this way. Right? This was an evolutionary process for me to get to the point where I was this comfortable in my skin and unapologetically me. Where I work in corporate America, right? I walk through those doors, baby. Bam. All this. All this. All this. I speak up in the meetings. I'm not trying to, shrink into the room and pray no one notices me. I'm here. Okay? And whether you know I'm trans or identify me as trans or suspect me as trans, I'm getting a check just like you're getting a check. So we both getting paid up in here. And I won't be made to feel like I'm lesser or like I don't deserve one. And it took me some time to get to this space. it took me some time to get to this space because I remember being the opposite. I remember being afraid to walk into a mall because what if people laugh? What if people point? You know, and over time, you know, as a trans woman, you grow into your transness. You grow into your womanness. You grow into your humanity and realize that, goddamn it, I have a right to happiness just like everyone else does. But the reason I get offended by the things that the baby says and Kevin Hart and Dave Chappelle is because there's people younger, still growing up, who haven't developed the muscles, who haven't developed the emotional capacity to be like, F Dave Chappelle, F Kevin Hart, F the baby. The baby can kiss all this trans kiss all of it, okay? And a lot of people haven't grown, and so I think about where I was at a certain age in a certain period in my life and how hearing those messages may have affected me. And so the offense isn't about, for the most part, people who are grown. It's about people who are still developing. All of this talk about kids and protecting kids and saving kids, but none of that credence is given towards, or concern, is given towards LGBTQIAP plus identified kids. They are kids too. So I'm not watching Dave Chappelle. And again, I really wish I want to hear what Dave Chappelle has to say about what he feels is the correct response. And I want Dave Chappelle, like, if you're going to make a special talking about how you're tired of people coming down, talk about, because here's the thing, right? The LGBTQIA plus didn't go out looking for fights with the baby. They didn't go out looking for fights with Kevin Hart. They created these battles. LGBTQIA plus didn't just say, hey, you guys, let's trounce on Kevin Hart today. Kevin Hart created those tweets, Poppy. The baby went to Rolling Loud and said what he said. No one's... I don't understand. So you get to punch me in my face. All up in my face. I mean, rat-tat-tat-tat-tat, all across my mug. And I'm supposed to say, oh, okay. If you punch me in the face, I'm not supposed to punch you back? What sense does that make? What sense does that make? And then, like, it's all this attack on the LGBTQIAP plus community when it comes to what the baby said wasn't just specific to the LGBTQIAP plus community. It was ignorant across the board. Because it's not just the LGBTQIAP plus community that's affected by HIV/AIDS. It's not. It's a lot of people, black women in particular. A lot. You know, minority women in particular are being hit hard by HIV/AIDS. And when you make a comment like that, you don't know who you're offending. The same black mothers that you're supposed to, quote unquote, be standing up to defend as it relates to trans women are the same black women who may have gay and trans kids that they love. Trans kids, gay kids have parents too. And so when you make an offensive statement like the one that the baby said, it offends people across the board. And the LGBTQIAP plus community was not the only ones to be offended by what he said, because it was ignorant on a whole other level, right? Like, there's like level 10 offensive, and then there's like stratosphere. Like, you can't, I mean, like, it's just out of this world offensive. And that's what the baby did, you know? And so I don't understand how anyone can stand up and defend what he said. Now, if he's apologizing and atoning and trying to come around and trying to make things better, it's going to be a process. But I'm not saying I can't get beyond it. I'm not saying I can't get past it. But it's just crazy to me, right? Because the same people who defend R. Kelly, right? Well, I'm not going to even open that can of worms. I'm not going to even open that R. Kelly can of worms. Not this morning, because this video will go on for probably about another 20 or 30 minutes, and we're not going to do that. Before I get out of here, speaking about, so I'm done with the Dave Chappelle thing for now. I may come back. It just depends on how it affects my spirit. Lil Nas X tweeted earlier this week that he was done with the JJ. And, that he was going back to the JJ, excuse me. Let me get it correct. Let me get it straight. So he said he was going back to the JJ. He was done with boys. And people were loving this. And when I read it, I just was just like, oh, that's Lil Nas X being silly. Didn't really pay much attention to it. And I didn't realize that this thing had legs, that this thing was going to actually go on a sprint and people were going to start buying into it. And he circled back around later this week and tweeted, never mind, he called. So basically saying he was into girls, he was gonna go back to girls, but since his bae called, then he was back into boys. Which I thought was absolutely hilarious. But when I started to think more and more about what he did, even though I saw the humor in it, and see, here's the thing about me. This is what you must know about the mass trans, is I don't play favorites. Anybody can get this smoke. You, and you. I don't play favorites. And Lil Nas X is a favorite of mine, right? But I think that what he did, even though it was funny, was actually dangerous to some degree, right? And let me tell y'all why, because I know y'all like, oh, no, why? You're too serious. You know, let me tell you why I think it's dangerous. Because a lot of people in this world happen to think that being gay, being trans is a choice. That you just wake up one day with a wild hair up your ass and say, you know what? You know what? Today is that day. Today is the day I'm going to shake up the world. I'm going to shake up my family. I'm going to shake up my life. I'm going to shake up my church. I'm shaking everybody up. You know, a lot of people really believe that you just wake up one day and just feel like, yeah, I think I want to try that. I think that's for me. That looks fun. Now listen, maybe that's true for some people. Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, for me, who I am is who I will be, and it's who I've been. Okay? That's just a fact. Who I am is who I've been. So, when Lil Nas tweets something like that, it gives people the impression that being gay is a choice. And I know for a lot of us, and again, I can't speak across the board because I don't know everyone's experience. And I have seen cases of lesbians in particular. Lesbians, where, you know, they grow up, they get married, they have kids, and, you know, they're in these full-blown relationships, and you've seen it with men too. But for me, I find it more prevalent amongst women, sort of around that middle age mark, where I see a lot of them who say, hey, I might want to try something different. And I don't know what that experience is, right? So maybe in that instance, it is a choice. And maybe in that instance, they've been suppressing it, and now that they've gone through and fulfilled all of those sort of societal obligations, they're like, cool, the rest of my life is for me. Look, I gave y'all all of that. I gave you all of what you wanted. There it is, have at it. But this over here, all this right here, this here from 40 and beyond, oh, baby, that's for me. You better enjoy that 39 and under. This 40 plus, it's for me. So I'm not sure if that's what some women go through or some men go through. But I know that for most of us, most of the people that I happen to know, we knew at a very early age. I'm telling you, for me, I knew probably at 3. At 3. I didn't have language, but I knew. And so when Lil Nas tweets what he tweeted, again, because I don't want to deviate too far off the subject, excuse me, there's a danger in that. Again, that it gives people the impression that people are making a choice, and that at any moment you can turn off that switch and be like, oh, I like girls today. Oh, I want to be a man today. Oh, I want to, you know what I mean? Like, and I suppose anyone can do whatever they chose to do. You know, anyone can say, hey, I choose not to be this. You can choose that, but the question is, will you be happy? Is that authentically you? Is that innately you? And I know for me, I can't be anyone but me. I can't. And that's just what it's going to be. So while it was funny, while the tweet was funny, I don't know, I think that it was also a little bit dangerous in terms of sending this message or supporting this belief that sexuality is a choice. So that's all I have to say on that subject. Anything else I wanted to talk about? Let me see. I'm interviewing for a new job. I'm excited about that. I have a new executive position that I'm interviewing for. I had my first interview yesterday. It went extremely well. It went extremely well. Because if your girl can't do nothing else, your girl can talk. So I had my first interview yesterday. My second interview is tomorrow. So I'm excited about that. Oh, you know what I want to talk to you guys about really quick before I go? Instacart. Instacart. So some of you may know that I started Instacarting probably about, 3 months ago? And I did Instacart good for probably about a month and a week. Around that month and a week, I was like, you know you don't have to do this, right? You know you already got a good job. Like, why are you out here doing this manual labor? And I was cool with doing Instacart up until a point. But at some point during the process, Instacart just got, I don't know what happened, but I was initially seeing, you know, one order at Costco for 12 items and you make $40. Okay, cool. I'm with that because it's going to take me about an hour. I'm cool with a $40 an hour salary. Let's go get that. You know, and then I would see orders at, you know, different grocery stores that were, you know, a 7-mile drive, you know, 6 items, $27. Okay, cool. Excuse me, that's going to take me about a half hour. I'm cool with $27 an hour. I can do that as a part-time gig. But at some point, it started to shift. And I started seeing 2 orders. That means you're shopping for 2 people. The drive is, you know, 27 miles. And they got like 60 items that they want you to get. Do you know how long it takes to shop for 60 items when you don't know what the hell you're going into the grocery store for? So for me, though, and then you have 2 drop-offs, 2 of them, baby, let me tell you how I turn that app off quick. That's me swiping the off button, the offline button. Baby, it's been fun, gotta run. I'm not doing that. You want me to work 2.5 hours for $27? Not the dog. Not me, not her, not she. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Too smart. Too many skills. You know, I'm doing this this is like a part-time thing. My plan was to take the money I was earning from Instacart, put it into Dogecoin, or, you know, use it for shopping. And maybe at some point during the winter months, I may turn the app back on just to see if it's giving something different. Because right now it's not giving what it's supposed to have gave. It's not. And I'm not out here working for slave wages. No shade to anyone who's doing Instacart or gig work as their primary source of income. I tip my hat to you. I feel like these apps need to treat their people better. They need to pay their people better. This gig work is hard work, right? And this is a premium service. Where is the premium pay? Where is the premium pay? Listen, if you can't afford to pay me 25 plus for each and every order, I don't have no time for it. Because see, Instacart is a completely different animal from, say, a DoorDash, right? With a DoorDash, you drive to the restaurant. Let's say someone wants Taco Bell. You pull up to Taco Bell to the drive-thru window. You say, hey, I have an order for Melanie. They say, here's Melanie's order. You drive to Melanie, you drop it off. You collect $10, $12, $13, you know, sometimes less than that, right? But all you did was get in the car and drive. Let me break Instacart down for you. Let me break shit down for you. You have to get in your car, drive to said location. So that's some gas money right there. You drive into that store location. You have to get out, go in, grab a cart, go around the store, find each and every single, it's a scavenger hunt. Go around the store, find each item, scan it, put it in there. They may have some of those items available, they may not. So the moment that they start not having items available, if the customer doesn't want to exchange it, your pay is dropping, it's decreasing. So you thought you was getting $35, baby, but now you're down to $30 because they didn't have the case of water that customer wanted. So, okay, cool. So you're shopping. Uh-oh, they don't have the pot that the customer wanted. Okay, so now I'm down to $28. And as you're shopping, in a lot of these instances, your pay is dropping. And then you have to go to the register after you've collected all of this stuff. Go to the register, check out. In some instances, you may have to bag it. If it's like a Target order, you have to bag your things yourself if you go to the self-checkout line. Bag it, push it out to the car, grab it out the cart, put it in the car, drive to the person's house, get out, unpack everything. And if the person lives on the 3rd floor in an apartment building with no elevator, baby, good luck. Drop everything off, and here you go giving me $27, $20 for that? Baby, no. I'll pass. It's a hard pass for me. It's a hard pass for me. So I haven't done it before I quit doing it. Mostly what I was primarily doing were liquor orders, because liquor orders were really easy to do. So I would go and grab a couple of bottles of wine, drop those off, get $20, $25 for that. So that I was good on. And granted, there isn't an abundance of those orders, but I wasn't really there to earn a living. I was just there playing with it, right? So I'm done playing with it. I'm back at my work, at my job full time. Well, I've been there full time, but I'm just saying now I'm just like, I don't have that to distract me anymore. So anyway, shout out to all the gig workers. Instacart, do better. Shit, do better. Pay your workers better. I don't have no time for it. And you know, like I said, if the pay gets better, then maybe I'll think about revisiting it. But I'm not breaking my back for that. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. So that is it for today's video. People, please do me a huge favor. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And as always, in closing, ask yourself this one poignant question. Why be bitter when you can be better? So let's be better together. Mwah. I'm the Mass Trans, and I'll talk to you guys again in my next video. Bye-bye.